Sanam aloha. So I'm a little bit late if you follow me regularly. Really wanted to put out a video on Friday, Saturday, but the tsunami of that Saturn-Neptune conjunction, 0 degrees Aries, moving into my 9th house, just launched me into a crazy ego death for the weekend. And so when I'm in that state, I can't really, there's no clarity. Right? There's no clarity, so I have to ride it out. So that's what I did. But I'm back, and ninth house, the way that I'm going to do these videos, teach, write, communicate is radically changing, and I'm already feeling that myself. And especially the fractal. The women that I'm really drawn to serve now are not the ones that are in resistance still, not the ones that are procrastinating, not the ones that are in love with their ego and their mind and they're all love and light and pretending they're spiritual. I'm not interested in them, right? I'm interested in the ones that have done the work. They really want liberation in this lifetime. They're open, right? They're receptive. And they're like, what's next, right? What's next now? So I'll talk a little bit about that more. Okay, so maybe that's you. Hopefully that's you listening. And of course, all are welcome to listen to this video. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this week, and then I'm going to talk about the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which is huge. It's new energy for the next 36 years. And also stick around for the tarot read, the fractal read. It's really interesting. Okay, so let's talk about this week. Okay, so today is the 24th. It's the 24th. Right now, it's almost 1 a.m. here. Okay. So this week, so this is the chart, the day that in time, the exact day and time that Uranus squares Mars here. So we'll want to take a look at this before we got into Neptune Saturn. So this is can be volatile energy, I'm not going to lie to you, but in a very precise, meaningful, purposeful way. So we've got Mercury retrograde this week, right there, see, 22, and conjunct Venus. So both of them there in the different lines, but the same gate. And that's this, coming off the solar plexus. And then we've got Mars, which is squaring Uranus. These are creating major tension. And so Mars is in gate 30, right there. And it's squaring gate 8, Uranus in gate 8. So this is Taurus Aquarius square. And then you can look here, right? Like the sun's in the 37th gate and the north node is exact 37.4, 37.4. So north node and sun are touching. We've got the south node in the 40th gate, south node in the 40th gate. And so there's some definition there. And that's the node. So that's there until May. And then we've got Pluto for some added fun, for some more tension off the root chakra in the 41st gate. So this is a full-on emotional, right? Emotional relationship recalibration that's coming up this week. And maybe you're already feeling it. Maybe you're ahead of the wave, right? So 4130. I've talked about this before. This is the channel of recognition, and it's lit up again. So this is emotional hunger. It's desire. It's a longing for something more, right? So 41 is like starts the dream, and then gate 30 intensifies the craving, right? For something new, a new experience, to feel something different than what you've been feeling, right? It's like hungry for the new, the new. And then Mars square Uranus. Mars is action, taking action. Uranus is disruption, right? And then gate 8 is your authenticity. It's your authentic contribution is gate 8. So this square says, if you've been suppressing your authenticity, if you've been pushing it down, wearing a big fakey fake mask around, pretending you're someone that you're not, then something's going to snap, right? This week, something will snap because Uranus doesn't put up with that in the 8th gate. It's about liberation, about you being yourself. So the snap is not punishment. It's correction. It's alignment, right? So Uranus in gate 8, what's Uranus saying in gate 8? It's saying stop diluting your uniqueness to fit in, right? Don't be like a Debbie Light, Lite, Debbie Light, a diluted version of yourself. And then Mars, in order to fit in, and then Mars is in the 30, and your uniqueness has nothing to do with your ego. That's difference. Oh, look how different I am. I dress like this, and I say witty things, and I'm so clever. That's not uniqueness. Uniqueness is about vulnerability. You know this if you are truly your unique self and you're on that path and you start, right? There's a vulnerability because you're showing yourself. You're not wearing a mask. You're vulnerable, right? So there's a vulnerability that comes with being unique because this whole planet does not support authenticity. It never has, not in the cross of planning, right? So diluting your vulnerability to fit in, right? So look at it that way. Mars in the gate 30 is stop reacting, right, to emotional drama and thinking that, oh, this is an intensity and this means that we love each other because we were reacting and fighting each other, right? That's not love. That's emotional reaction. It's triggers. So you're getting triggered from the past. It's all about the past. It has nothing to do with the present. So Mars is saying to stop doing that. Don't get into emotional drama. But the tension, right? The tension between Mars and Uranus is you may blurt out something. Right? You've been censoring yourself. You've been pushing it down. You've been gaslighting yourself. No. Talking yourself out of your feelings. Well, snap. Snap is like the truth spills out. Oh my God, I just spoke the truth. Where did that come from? Well, this tension is forcing you to speak the truth. And that honesty is going to disrupt a relationship that's not authentic, right? Or a community agreement. But it's true, right? It's truth. And you know what? When you finally speak the truth, it's a relief. Not just for you, but for others too, to actually speak the truth, this thing that you've been holding back and pushing down, right? And then the 3740, this is cross the planning codes right here. This is going through a huge mutation, 3740. And the sun and the north node are in the 37, and the earth and the south node are in the 40. So this is the peak, right? This is the tribal bond. This is the channel of community. It's the channel of marriage. And this is the agreements that hold families, they hold partnerships, they hold communities together. And this is going through a mutation. It's not going to hold for the cross of the sleeping phoenix. This is old energy. And if you have it, right, because some people have it, and it's like, oh my God, I'm a dinosaur, like I'm an old consciousness. No, you transcend this. What these agreements are. You transcend it if you have it. So gate 37, the 7 right, is the gate of family, friendship, and then gate 40 is the gate of aloneness, the gate of delivery. So together they say, I've talked about this before, I will deliver my part of the bargain. In exchange, I receive belonging, either in this relationship or this community, right? So I work, right? I work. This is like the gate of work, the love of work or not, right? And this is saying, who are you in agreement with? What agreements in your life do you have with communities, with your partner, with friendships? What are the agreements? What are you over giving? Like, right. Where are you over giving in this relationship? Is it out of balance? Where are you resentful? That's a sign. Where are you exhausted? It's a shadow of exhaustion, the 40, right? Where are you exhausted from overgiving? Right. So because this is imbalance, the third exposes imbalance actually, the 37th this week. There can be like burnout. It can lead to burnout, withdraw, just wanting to withdraw from the community with the relationship, or there can be a rupture, right? A rupture in these agreements. And the nodes here, North Node, South Node, this is karma. These are karmic themes that you're working through. So old agreements that you made to others are up for renegotiation or complete split. If you can't come to some form of equality and balance, then it needs to split. So with the sun in the North Node in the 37th, and right, and the Earth in the South Node in the 40, the North Node is pointing to conscious partnership. And the South Node is pulling you towards old patterns of transactional relating. I do this for you, you do this for me. It's like we're roommates, we're business. It's like in a business agreement in the relationship. I do this, you do that. Or you're carrying the family burden alone on your own, right? You have no support. 37 is about support, lack of support. 37. So there can be old patterns of isolation, right? Give, overgive until you're exhausted, withdraw, disappear, go into the hermit, and then return, right? This loop that you're in. So this is transit is asking you, are your agreements authentic, or are they just inherited obligations? Right? This is just how my parents did it. My mother did it this way. My grandparents did it this way. Right? Are these agreements authentic or inherited obligations? And then Mercury retrograde in Venus in the 22, right? So Mercury retrograde in Venus in the 22nd gate coming off the solar plexus. Right? So we got some action here in the solar plexus, 3 gates. So gate 22 is about social openness. It's about grace, right? And Mercury retrograde here, this is like you're going to go back. You're reviewing, you're reflecting, conversations about love, what love is, and revisiting relationship dynamics, right? There can be old relationships resurfacing, coming back, maybe not like in 3D, but having conversations just come up in your head that you've had in the past. You're reviewing this. And their emotional patterns, what your emotional patterns are. So the retrograde is asking, are your words, the words you speak, are they aligned with your emotional truth? Basically, are you in integrity? Do you mean what you say? When you say I love you, do you really mean it? Or are you just saying it to keep the peace? Are you saying things to not upset the relationship, right? Stuffing down your truth. Or are you faking softness? Like, oh, it's okay. It's okay that you forgot my birthday. It's okay that you neglect me. You don't even notice me. You just talk at me, you monologue at me. You don't really listen to me. It's okay. Now, with this week, you're not going to be able to do that anymore, right? So that will come up. So notice that with Mercury, it will bring up these old thoughts, right? These thoughts around love and relationship. So your emotional body is being rewired with this energy, and it's not casual because you've got squares, you've got the nodes, you've got retrograde pressure to tell the truth about what you want. This week is about you telling the truth about what you want. And part of you doesn't want to do that because you know what the outcome is. You know that. That's why you've been digging in your heels and not speaking what you want because you know you're not going to get it, right? The truth will come up about your relationship, whatever agreements you're in. So what you agreed to, right? Really look at like, what did I agree to here? And do I want to continue this out of duty, obligation, and should, or do I want to renegotiate, or do I want to speak the truth? No, I can't do it like this anymore. And whether these agreements are still true for you. This is the thing, like conscious relationship, there needs to be room for people to evolve and grow. If there's no room, if one is growing and the other one isn't, right? That's not a conscious relationship. You can't stay the same. The thing is that I talk about this a lot, like life is supporting life. You are life. You are life. Even if you feel dead inside, there's a little spark there that's going to spark this week, right? So you are life, and life supports life. And if your relationship is dead or something is not living, it's not growing, it's not going to be supported. Right? So you want to be choosing life. What's alive for me right now? That's what you want to follow this year, right? As we move into the cross of the sleeping phoenix. So is this true for me? Just because I made a vow 5, 10, 15 years ago doesn't mean I need to keep it because I'm growing. That's the thing with the old cross of planning vows. Like marriage, the institution of marriage. How can you agree to that? Till death do us part, in sickness and in health. How can you agree to that when each person is growing and they're on their own individual soul path? Right? It's just it's crazy, and this is what the sleeping phoenix is showing us. Right? Marriage is not supportive, like the old cross of planning marriage contract. Not supportive of the individual. It's not supportive of growth and evolution for the individual. So you look at it that way. Like, what's true for you? What's true for you? Are you holding yourself back? Right? Are you suppressing an important part of yourself that's alive to stay in this obligation because you've inherited it from your ancestors, or you were told that you should, right? This is about choosing you this week. You choose you this week. So there can be emotional spikes this week. Definitely relationship stuff. The chart is showing us that up the yin yang. There can be sudden authenticity surges. I can't do this anymore. I just can't do this old way anymore. That's your authenticity, your life force coming back, right? There can be pressure for new experiences, right? New desires. I want something different, right? That's aligned with me. There can be conversations that have been long overdue that are just going to blurt the truth out. But this is preparing you, right, for this Saturn, Neptune, and Aries that I'll talk about. So you're being emotionally destabilized purposefully, right? To get to the truth right? So you stop outsourcing. Why is this happening? Why? So you stop giving your power away to the outside, to the external, to someone that you perceive as being smarter than you, being more knowledgeable, right, than you. Yeah, that their voice is more important than your voice. No, life's not going to support that. So it's not chaos, it's recalibration this week. And if something snaps, what does that mean? It means it's already cracked. It's been cracked for a long time. So let it reveal itself, right? And then move from the center. And I put this meme up. Do you guys know They Live? It's a great movie. It's done in the 80s. Anyway, the thing is that he has these magic glasses, and when he puts on the glasses, he can see the truth of the world around him. And when he takes off the glasses, which most people live without these glasses on, it's they see obey, consume, whatever all around the city. And then he puts this on in the truth. So Neptune and Saturn in gate 25 is putting on your truth glasses. The fog and the fantasy and all of that is being removed, and your emotions, like your feelings and your emotions, are coming online, right? To guide you to the truth. Your body is coming alive again, and I'll talk about that so that you can be in truth. This is what it means to have the truth glasses on, right? So there he is looking at the illusion. Oh, the 10 of Cups. Look how the facade. We're so happy on paper. Everything looks great. We present this image of being the perfect relationship, and right? And it's all fake. And the truth is it's exploding. And that's what you're seeing now. The ones that are in these relationships that are not healthy. They're not aligned with your spiritual journey, right? So don't be afraid of the truth glasses. This is the only thing that's real, right? Is the truth. And this is what Saturn and Neptune is showing you in Aries. 2027, it's not far away now. What are we in the second month, right? For the sleeping phoenix, the cross of planning way is not working anymore. This, right? We're all seeing through the illusion now, even of the promise of the 10 of Cups out in our world. We'll be conditioned to believe this. No, it's a lie. So one of the things that you can do, because I like to give action items to ground it in your body, is writing. Writing is amazing, right? It really connects you with your own self and in solitude, so that you're in your own aura. You want to write, where are you overgiving? That's this, the 3740. Where am I overgiving in my life? Maybe it's with my family. Maybe it's my partner, my community, where it's out of balance. Where am I overgiving? Where do I feel resentful? Even if I try to lie to myself and talk myself out of it, that gives you more information. Where am I resentful? Where am I burned out? What agreement am I silently upholding of what it means to be a daughter, what it means to be a sister, what it means to be a wife, what it means to be an employer, what it means to be a healer, what it means to be a teacher, whatever it is, whatever role. What's this agreement that I'm upholding? And what would a clean boundary look like? What would a clean boundary look like for me? Right? So you don't have to act on it. You just have to see it. Bring it into your awareness. Right? And then you take action later. Right? But still, first you need to see it. Okay, so that's what's going on with this week. So just with the Uranus-Mars square, stay grounded that day, because people, this is a global transit. So people who live in shadow are going to react. There'll be reaction like road rage and things like that. You want to be grounded. You want to be in your center. Not be afraid, but just be in your center and ground it and take your time and go at your own pace, right? Don't get caught up in other people's drama. Okay, so if we look at the conjunction, right? Here's the conjunction. Can you see that? There we go. So Saturn, Neptune conjunction. This is huge. So the last conjunction was around 1989. 1989 was the last conjunction. I've spoken about this before. So Saturn, Neptune coming together in their, outer planets and the sign of Capricorn. So there's lots of ways to approach this, but I'm approaching it this way, okay? So this is when the mind became the authority, right? And I'm talking about my fractal. This is where the mind became your authority. And you may have been born like in the 90s. I have some fractal members that they're early Scorpios, right? Like just turned 30, they're coming into their Saturn return. Some like Pluto and Sagittarius too, but not many, more Plutos. You may have been a child. You may not have even been born yet. Well, you want to look at your parents. What was going on with your family at that time, 1989, right? This will connect to you. Right, and what you learned in these last 36 years or so, right? Right, this was 36 years ago. Well, this was the mind became the authority. So this would manifest as control and communication. It can manifest in sibling type relationships. Even your romantic relationship is more like a sibling relationship, like competitive. There's jealousy, there's a winner, there's a loser, there's a battle. There can be power struggles in your relationships through words, right? The mind, you using your words like a truth bat. I call it the truth bat. Yeah, you're speaking the truth, but you're pounding the other person with it, using your words as a sword, right? As a sword, a cutting sword. There can be suppression of your voice too that you may have experienced, so this is using the mind as leverage, like putting all your energy towards the development of your mind. So this is like the message is I must excel, right? I must excel mentally. We can go back to the Cathars. Right? This is an overcompensation from the time of the past life Cathars. And if you don't know about this, I always have links in my information box. A lot of my fractal are past life Cathars. So you can learn about the Cathars and the High Priestess in hiding, right? So this was the mind and the codes during the time of the Cathars was 63, 64, and that's confusion and doubt, and that's all about the mind. So they're coming into this lifetime of this, right? This will never happen to me again. I'm going to mentally excel with my mind, and then I will be safe as long as I intellectually can understand and navigate the world. Right? I can defend myself with my intellect, and then I'll be safe. But internally, my mind, you know that your mind doesn't fit this system, right? Because these last 36 years, this is not your world. It's not your world. Your job was just to stay alive for these last 36 years. And to hold the light and to hold your wisdom and then unleash it in 2027, right? We're moving from a first line into a sixth line in 2027, the sixth line. The first line is all about the intellect. getting to the foundation, getting to the details of things. It's all about the intellect, all about the leftness. And then in 2027, we're moving into rightness. And that's the sixth line. And that's your world. But your mind never fit into this world, right? So you were forcing yourself into a system that was alien to you, right? So the round peg, the square peg trying to get into a round hole, right? You're forcing yourself into a system that was alien to you, exhausting and draining to you. And you're going to feel that more and more. So this would have created restlessness, like a mental intensity that I have to know, right? Information addiction, right? Addicted to gathering information, hyper curation of your thought, self-censoring, right? Your words, editing your words, being overly focused on words and language. Because when you're a past life Cather, you said the wrong thing, you're on the pyre, right? On the funeral pyre there while you're alive as a past life Cather, right? So there can be like this intensity with the mind and the intellect. I have to communicate this correctly. And easily distracted, you would be easily distracted if you weren't emotionally engaged, and that would be tune out. And just tune out. So you could have felt different in school in your early development, especially if you were a child or, a teenager during that time. Feel different, feel overstimulated, so feeling anxious, like you can't shut the mind off, or your mind just shuts down on itself, which is depression. And there can be a total mistrust of the imposed structure, right? Saturn's the structure, and Neptune can be a disillusionment with the structure. This is disillusionment with the patriarchy, right? With the masculine leadership, right? This is the father MIA, right? That's a signature of this time too. The father's gone, divorced, just not present, or he's there in body, but he's not there emotionally. You didn't get the father energy, right? So these were survival strategies, right? The distrust and the imposed structures and the power and the people that hold the power on the planet, like the earthly power, a deep distrust of them. And now there's a need to build inner structure, right? Inner structure with Saturn and Neptune and Aries. And that's what my retreat's about, which I'll talk a little bit more about. But this cycle is ended. Right? So what's the closing of the cycle? Is your mind is no longer your authority, right? We're moving from a mental awareness system right here, and then we're moving down here, and this is what's being mutated. We're no longer going to be experiencing life through our mind. This is why AI has come so strong with Pluto moving into Aquarius, because it's allowing us, it's like AI is saying, we'll take over here with the mind, right? So that you can finally surrender. AI is just a tool. It's not something to be afraid of. As long as you are in your consciousness and treat it like a tool, it's like a computer, all the if you look at the Ice Age, right? If you look at the Ice Age, what technology came for us, for humanity, just before the Ice Age? Fire. Fire changed everything. That's like a technology. Technology appears when we need it, when we need it, when humanity is about to go through a huge quantum leap in their mutation and evolution, then a technology comes. Electricity, right? The printing press, just things like that. And now it's the third industrial revolution now, then it's AI, right? It's AI. But it's allowing us, AI is going to do all the heavy lifting here with the mind, and it can do it way better than a human. Then we can go here. We can go here and really explore this solar plexus mutation and spirit awareness. And this is how we'll be experiencing life, not thinking our way through life, right? So we already have a tool, a technology that helps us. But the fear is it's going to control us. And there's always fear when the new is coming for humanity. It's just, when the horse and buggy, when the car came on the scene, and there was lots of resistance to a car. No, I'm going to stick with my horse. I'm going to stick with candlelight. I'm not getting electricity. There's always resistance. It's just part of our human nature. We're afraid of change. Okay, why did I get on that? Oh, because of we're closing a cycle, right? Because of the mind. My mind is the authority for my fractal. So what was the closing of the cycle for you with this is owning your voice. Owning your voice. Did you learn that through this 36-year cycle? Do you own your voice now? You're going to end mental submission. And that means being talked out of your intuition, right? Listening to the mind over your intuition. Listening to others like experts, right? The experts who have all the details and the language and this and that, right? It's like, no, you're going to not submit to them anymore. You're going to listen to your own inner authority, which is your intuition. You're not outsourcing your authority anymore. You're moving from the mental awareness system to the spirit awareness system. You're rewriting your narrative. Before, it was like you were writing the story, the details of what happened to you, right? You're rewriting your story now, right? Rewriting the story is very powerful, to rewrite your story from an elevated perspective, not from the victim, but, oh, this happened because, like my mother. Why did I choose my mother? I rewrote the story. Why? She was cold. She was cold. She was cruel. She was not affectionate, not mothering, not nurturing. Rewriting the story is like, oh, she basically was telling me, don't look to me to mother you. You're here in this lifetime to learn to nurture yourself, to mother yourself, right? So this would be like rewriting your story from an elevated spiritual perspective. That's a really good exercise for you to do, to free up the glue that's holding you and your family of origin together, like trapped, right? To elevate. Okay, so if we go to Aries, and this just happened on Friday. This happened on Friday. And not just Aries, 0 degrees Aries. I'm sure if you follow astrology, you know this. A lot of astrologers have been talking about this. So, and this is in the gate 25, which is here off the G center. So both of them in gate 25 here. Well, this is where your body becomes the authority, right? So this is innocence. This is purity. This is purity, has nothing to do with the mind, right? So this is about body. It's about your service, your contribution. It's about your daily devotion. It's about embodiment of your authority. I'm my own authority, my own authority. Claiming your inner authority. So this is the shift. You can no longer navigate life through the mind. And if you're out of alignment with your truth, right? Out of alignment with your truth, what's true for you, out of alignment with your soul, well, your body's going to speak. And I've been warning you all last year about starting to listen to your body. Your body's the oracle. Well, I'm not going to have to do that anymore because your body is going to get really, really loud this year with this, right? With this placement here. Right? So it's going to first like whispers, you're little like, oh, I got a little pain, I got a headache, I got this and that. It's going to be gentle, and then it will get louder and louder, right? And then it will be fatigue and exhaustion. Then it'll be inflammation. It will be burnout, autoimmune flares, digestive issues, exhaustion, migraines. Not as a punishment, but a calibration, right? And so your health reflects your alignment. And so what am I doing right now, my Chicken Little? Like trying to get you to feel afraid? No. And if you know me, I'm not about that. I'm not about putting you in a victim, but I'm just warning you, right? I'm warning you. So I want to share a story with me, because remember, I'm the big brother of the fractal. Not that I'm better than you or on the hierarchy, like up on the pedestal and I'm over you. It's like, no, I'm just ahead of the path. I was born earlier than you for a reason, because I went through all this stuff. I went through the stuff that you're going to be going through now, right? The last 14 years with Neptune in my 8th house with no human support. No human support. Everything dissolved, right? Everything dissolved. So I had to learn through life, through living. So this is what I want to share with you, being in the 9th house now. So I've already hit the wall that you're about to hit, right? I've already gone through the storm that you're about to go through. So 11 years ago, just to bring it back to the body, I was crisscrossing North America because everything was dissolved, right? I didn't even know where I belonged, right? And I was trying to find home. And I was frustrated and disoriented, and the ego started creeping in, right? Because the last 16 years, plus 16 years, I was eating organic food, really clean for the most part, conscious and intentional. And then just one day I snapped. I just snapped because it takes a lot of energy, as you know, especially if you're away from the cities and on the mainland in the United States. It's just crappy foods, right? Fast foods. And so it takes energy of like, okay, where's the Whole Foods? Where's the organic restaurant? Where's the organic? Oh, and I've got to get there by this time and then prepare and cook. You know, if you eat clean, you know what I'm talking about. And when you're traveling, it's more challenging. So I said to myself, well, I didn't say it. My ego said it, and I listened to it. And it's like, I'm tired of this. Screw it, right? Why do I have to work so hard to eat well? And everybody else around me seems to be eating whatever, and they seem to be fine. So I stopped listening to my body. So you can imagine clean food for 16 plus years. And I ate fast food, and I ate at random restaurants, and it was all about convenience over alignment. And I swear within 2 weeks, it might have been under 2 weeks, I'm in the emergency room with excruciating pain, like my appendix was completely inflamed. So I spent 3 days in the hospital, right? So I'm still doing my sadhana, practice in the hospital in the morning, and my intuition came up so strong. They pumped me full of antibiotics, but I'm still like it's just painful to move, to walk, anything, right? So I'm still doing my sadhana, and my intuition came in so strong and clear. And it was like, Michael, you are at a choice point right now, and this path can end early for you. Because I was on a death wish, really, like what I was doing. It was like, this is too hard. My soul purpose is too hard. It's too challenging. I have no support. I'm all alone, just me and my dog, right? I don't want to do this anymore. But there's my intuition. It's like this path can end early for you, right? You can check out like your mother did. She died early. My mother died really early. Or you can commit to your soul purpose. You have a choice. And I saw the hospital, right? The hospital's not a healing place at all. I'm getting cornflakes and white death bread and fructose jam, right? It was like a repeat of what got me in there in the first place, right? They weren't healing me. The IV wasn't healing me, right? So what I did is I chose. And I knew exactly what was happening. It's like, yes, bust it. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to escape my soul purpose. And I chose in that moment, I chose my soul purpose. In my power, I said, I choose my soul purpose. I'm not allowing my ego to take me out in this lifetime. So then right away, I got up and I've got my IV and I'm just like training, right? Walking up and down the halls to get stronger. And then my body started turning around, right? And healing really, really fast. And the doctors were confused at how fast I was healing. I didn't need surgery. They said, you don't need surgery. I don't know what you're doing, but you're healing, right? Because what did my body? I knew that my body was the antibiotics and all that stuff healing the body. No, it was the soul. When I was in alignment with the soul is what heals the body, right? So my body's not, what I learned is my body's not fragile, right? It's not, it's intelligent, but it needs alignment, right? It needs alignment. So when I override it, my body, right? Not listening to it and got out of alignment, then it escalated, right? So it whispered. There was discomfort. It's I don't care, a bit of inflammation. I don't care, emergency room. And that got my attention, right? So even the things that we do in 3D with our bodies, it's just to make the body comfortable, so that the soul can come in and do the healing. Everything starts at the soul level. We're made of energy, right? So what am I trying to say now? In your next 36 years is your body will be very, very sensitive when you're out of alignment. So use it as a barometer, right? Oh, I'm not in alignment right now. I'll get alignment with my soul. Doesn't mean that you don't do things on the 3D, but you go to the soul level first, right? So you can't abandon yourself. You can't abandon your authenticity and expect your body to cooperate. You can't betray your calling. You've come down on this planet for a reason, right? For a soul purpose. You can't hide from it. And you can't expect your body now to go along with you hiding, right? It's not going to accept that, right? Your nervous system will not be regulated. No, you can try all the tricks in the books that you can. It won't stay regulated, right? It will yell and scream. Right? So you can't expect to live in your ego, to continue to live in your ego and expect yourself to be vital and healthy anymore. This is the next cycle for you, right? So ego, right? It's either ego or your soul purpose. When my body starts acting up, am I choosing my ego right now? Or am I choosing my soul purpose? Right? So it's empowering, right? The soul heals fast when you choose it. Your soul will heal fast, heal the body, whatever's going on in your body, when you choose it. Faster than the mind can believe it. That's your old way. The mind, that makes no sense. That must have been this that you did and this pill you took. That's the mind. The mind does not understand the soul. The mind is like a little kindergarten kid, right? Compared to like this wise old sage of your soul. And even then I'm diminishing the wisdom of your soul. So the cycle isn't about fearing illness, right? It's about empowerment. It's like I'm out of alignment, right? I'm in my ego right now. I'm hiding from my soul purpose. So this is about embodiment of authority. This is what it means to be self-sovereign. You start to take responsibility for your health. You don't go into victim about it. Right? So when you align your daily life with truth and authenticity, right, then your body becomes your ally. And if you don't, it will become your teacher, right? You'll be forced to learn through your body. So it's either your ally or your teacher, right? So it's all about calibrating embodiment. Okay. So listen to your body now so it doesn't have to scream at you later. This is what I want to share with you, So I had to learn this the hard way. But I learned pretty quickly. It only took two weeks to not do that again. So Saturn and Neptune and Aries, right? That's saying, right, to align. Saturn is saying to build a structure around your energy. So you have your energy, and what's the Saturn want you to do? Build a structure around your energy. This means not the people that drain you. They drain your energy. They're always in crises, right? Activating your nervous system, right? Putting you out of balance. You're not growing. Right? Because there's some people, yes, they will activate you, but they're activating you towards growth. There's others that activate you and they keep you in loops. They keep you in a loop, right? You know who these people are. This is you with Saturn, is I'm going to build a structure around this, which means they don't have access to my energy, right? So with Saturn, Saturn Neptune conjunct Aries, the truth glasses will come on, and this is where you're shocked. The one that I thought was safe for me, right, is actually the one that's keeping me in the loop. The one that I thought was really bad for me and draining me is actually the one that's helping me grow and evolve. That's the glasses. So this is the Uranus square Mars, like the shock, to liberate you, to see the truth, finally see the truth. So build a structure around your energy, right? And align your work. Now, structure doesn't mean walls, right? The difference between a boundary and a wall is like I'm closing the armor that I talked about, right? I'm going to shut down my heart. I'm going to build this wall. Nobody's going to get at me. I'm never going to get hurt again. You don't want that. What you want is a wall with a door, right? So you choose who comes in the door. That's what a boundary is, right? You choose who comes in that door and who doesn't. So look at boundaries that way. And then align your work with your service, your contribution, because that's a big next 36-year cycle, is you're learning to what am I here to contribute to the world here. And Aries says, stop waiting. It's time to act, take action, right? So the last 14 years, if you look at the last 14 years of Neptune, this was who am I, right? That was a big who am I. Who am I? And trying on different identities and costumes and things like that, experimenting, finding your voice, healing your inner child, reclaiming your creativity and your radiance and your confidence, right? But now the question, that's over now. Now the question is, what are you going to do with that voice? How does it help others? Is it helping inflate your ego? Right? No, that's not where you want to go. It's like, how do I take my gifts and talents and how does this serve the whole? How does this serve the collective? Because if you're not in service, body's going to act up, right? That's another thing, right? How do I serve? And this is what I learned through my time, the last 14 years for me, is when I got out of service, because when I went on that total, like, journey of eating crap and not listening to my body and not caring and respecting my body, eating whatever, I was not in service either. It's like I don't care about people. I just want to go out, and that's not me. I'm a fourth line profile. I care deeply about people. My North Node is the 15, right? It's the love of humanity. I can't help but love humanity. It's my dilemma, right? Sometimes I don't love humanity, but it's like, why do I love humanity so much? But I do, right? That's just natural to me. But I do go through my, I'm not perfect. So what I'm saying is I wasn't in that service mode, right? So if you find yourself dysregulated, heading into a hole, your body is shutting down, it's acting up and stuff, then it's like, how can I serve? How can I serve? How can I really help people? Not tit for tat help. Tit for tat help is all across the planning. Well, I do this and then they can validate me that I'm a good person, right? No, this is like I'm giving because the soul, the impulse of my soul wants to give. That's why we truly give, right? The soul wants to give to soul. The soul in you wants to give to the soul in the other. So you follow that impulse and immediately you get aligned. You're aligned, right? So that's another hot tip too for these next 36 years is how do I serve? And it's like you don't need to make yourself. This is your natural state for the next 36 years. You'll be motivated to serve others, but with your gifts and talents. It's not going to be from a martyr or self-sacrifice or I have to abandon myself to give, like the old way of overgiving, right? Giving from an empty cup. You don't need to do that. It's going to feel so good, right? It's like that's like the best energy in the world when your soul is moving through and serving another. It's like there's nothing like it. There's no better drug than that. It's to serve, right? So so you want to choose service consciously, right? Now, so what are you going to do? How am I going to serve? These are the good questions for you to be asking now for the next 36 years. And maybe you don't know, right? This is where my readings help, right? My soul purpose readings can help you with that, like identifying that. And it's all based on your authenticity. That's the beauty of it. Service is completely connected to your authenticity. Right? So this is about clear boundaries. It's about work that serves the collective. It's about you leading yourself. It's about sovereignty, your sovereignty in movement, and you're not fighting the systems anymore. That's the old, right? Fighting the systems. So your daily life, if it doesn't reflect your authenticity, this is like daily life now, not just, every month or 2 months. It's like your day to day now. If your life isn't reflecting your authenticity, then your nervous system is going to revolt, right? And that's the sign I'm not aligned. So you're not proving anything anymore to anybody. You're serving. You're doing it because your soul wants to serve, not because you're going to get validation from anybody else. You'll serve even when nobody's looking, and it's going to feel so good, right? So you're not surviving anymore, you're initiating. And don't get into this human design. I'm a manifestor, I'm a projector, I can initiate. You know what I'm talking about. You can be a projector and initiate, right? That's just an energy. It's the energy of initiation. It's empowerment, right? Empowerment. So you don't need any more information. You need your actions to be aligned with your soul now. You don't need any more the mind, right? You don't need any more information, right? You don't need to give your power away anymore. You don't need to distrust authority figures anymore. You don't care when you're your own inner authority. That person can talk to me blue in the face about this and how I should live my life. But it's like, no, I listen to my own inner authority. I listen to my own intuition. That's what I obey. That's what I trust the most. Not you that's got a bunch of letters behind their names and so-called experts, right? So the last 36, it's how do I think? How do I survive mentally and use my intellect, right? How do I communicate? This is ending last 36 years. And now it's this. How do I regulate daily, right? How do I stay in my center daily? How do I stay in my peace? I can be sad and angry, but there's this underlying peace underneath me at all times, right? At all times. That's building the inner masculine. That's part of my retreat, right? It's not about what I'm communicating to you. It's like the retreat and the transmissions and everything that I do. It's not preventing you from the storm and the chaos. That's insane. It's like trying to stop a tsunami, like trying to stop that energy. But what I can help you with is to maintain your center, right? Maintain your center, maintain your authenticity, your integrity, so that you can weather these storms that are coming, the chaos that's coming, and you're unmoved by it. You know? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, feel me. Yeah. Okay, so how do I stabilize my nervous system? How do I stay grounded in the chaos? And how do I serve in the next 36 years? Right? Do you see, this is a major transit. Okay. We talked about that. And here we go, the retreat. So I finally have all the information up on my website. I'll put a link down in the information box. So this is awakening your inner authority. It's like igniting the inner masculine here, the true masculine, because of going through that Neptune and Saturn conjunction in 1989. This is the masculine, the true masculine has been missing. So this is for the women that are strong and capable out in the world already, but they're exhausted from overcarrying, right? Overcarrying everyone. So this is about leading yourself without tightening, making decisions without bracing, like expecting the worst case scenarios, and contributing, making your contribution without carrying everybody else. And stop being the emotional project manager, like regulating everyone else's emotions, dealing with their crises, and stop proving that you can do everything alone. So you don't need more motivation. What you need is a structure that doesn't cost your nervous system, right? So there's more information on my website. These are deeply experiential, right? Deeply into the experience. Yes, you'll receive information and things that are directly connected to your chart. We always do a deep dive on a few elements in your chart so that it's actually individual and personal to you. And this is what we need right now is these structures so that this is what keeps the peace and maintains the peace in your center within is building this inner masculine within yourself, right? So go check that out. And the great thing is during the retreat, there's a complete fire equinox, a fire gathering. Like the sun is in Aries, right? It's a spring equinox, March 20th. The moon's in Aries, Saturn's in Aries, Neptune's in Aries, Venus is in Aries, and Chiron is in Aries, all during this retreat, right? So this is going to really help and support, right? So I talk about the transits too, and there's more information. And the 21 and the 2551 is activated, and that's initiation, the channel of initiation. So yeah. Anyway, go check that out. Check it out in the link, and you've got a while yet for this retreat, but it's already always impactful and always a surprise. And I'm really excited to be teaching and guiding you to help you really move this year, the year of the fire horse, right? This is the time the fire energy is coming. Okay. So the next thing I want to check out is the fractal read here. And this is really interesting. So maybe if you're watching it on the phone, on your phone, you can put it on pause and have some water or tea or whatever, and then come back. And this relates to what I've been talking about in the first part of the video. Okay. So the fractal read here. Okay. So this is the fractal read for this week in the Saturn Neptune in gate 25. So what emotional contract is breaking? And that's the there we go. The 4037, right? Channel that's activated. And so we've got the 10 of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands. What does this mean? This is about legacy. So it's not like a fling contract, like some boyfriend you have or girlfriend you've had for a couple months or a year or two. This is about legacy, right? A legacy contract is going. So 10 of Pentacles is what you've inherited. It's the your family system. It's the long-term security agreement. And then the 3 of Wands is the future expansion beyond the known shore, right? Because he's looking out. So this is your stability-based identity is cracking. This is your cross of planning identity is cracking. This is your not self, right? That's seeking first line, right? Seeking foundation, seeking security, seeking safety. This comes from your ancestors. This is I stay because this is secure. This situation is secure. I stay in this job because I got a regular paycheck. I stay in this relationship because it's secure, it's known, I'm supported financially. It's always about money, right? I stay because this is what we do. It's just what we do. We endure. You learn this from your ancestors. I stay because this is what success looks like, right? My soul is already looking past it, right? It looks at that. My soul is like looking past the 10 of Pentacles. There's got to be something more, right? 4130. Because that contract's done, right? So this is your lineage rupture. So you're being asked to be the one in your family that breaks this chain. Not out of rebellion, because the contract was built on the cross of planning, duty and obligation. Fitting in to survive, belonging somewhere so that you can survive. This world is ending. So the break is you no longer owe. You no longer owe anything to anyone, right? Right, for belonging. So it's about the past, letting that go. And there's so this is the contract that's ending. It has to do with your family contract, a lineage contract. It's internal to you that you've inherited and it's not yours. So where are you overgiving? Well, the Judgment card and the Six of Pentacles. So you've been overgiving to buy your way out of being judged. That's why you've been overgiving, because you fear judgment of others. You want to stay in a good position. You want to be the one who's good. Oh, you're good, the good girl, right? You're the one who's generous. You're the one that everybody can trust that's going to show up. And the shadow is you give to avoid, right? Wanting more. So you give. And so you don't want to be seen as somebody, though, that wants more than that, wants more from that person that they're giving to. Right? Oh, she's such an angel. She just gives, and she never asks for anything herself. Look at her, right? So judgment here is your inner voice that says you owe something, that you owe something to somebody, right? That you must prove your worth through contributing something, that if you stop giving, you'll be exiled from the tribe. You'll be kicked out of the tribe, out of your community, out of your family, right? If you stop giving. So the overgiving is about being seen as good, spiritually advanced, the one that has it all together. They're the screwed up ones, but you got it all together. And so you're buying belonging. You're purchasing somewhere to belong through service. But the 3740 channel says, is this a clean exchange? Six of Pentacles is a clean exchange, right? Is it equal, right? Or are you depleting yourself to maintain some image that's false, that's you're not self, right? Are you trying to buy it, feed it? It's not true. It's a lie. So the 37 shadow is resentment that's going to build and build when you give from obligation rather than overflow. This is your giving from obligation. So you give advice, you give your energy, your time, your emotions, your stability, your leadership in order to feel worthy, because you don't feel worthy. Deep down, you don't feel worthy. So this isn't generosity, right? This is about keeping your not self alive. This identity, right? That you've inherited. Trying to keep this alive, your not self. What happens if you speak your truth this week? Wow. There's no tower there. There's no Five of Pentacles, right? There's no nasty cards. This is contentment. This is wish fulfillment. This is emotional liberation, right? It's not chaos. It's not collapse. This is relief, right? This is relief. So the fear is, well, if I stop this, if I disrupt this by speaking my truth, I'll lose everything. This card says, no, you gain, right? You gain your wishes, your true wishes, your contentment. Nine of Cups is contentment. So the truth is, right? You're afraid to speak. The Nine of Cups says the truth that you've been afraid to speak. Your ego's been saying, no, you can't. You'll lose everything if you speak your truth. Well, this is saying the other person's going to be relieved. And often this is the way. When you speak the truth, the other person's relieved. Oh, I feel the same way. This relationship isn't working. It's not working for me either, right? There's a relief. And that it will land. It's saying if you speak the truth, it will land for the other person, right? So the snap, remember the Uranus-Mars? The snap, it won't be destructive, right? It will be a relief for everybody. And that's what the truth is, right? When you actually speak the truth, because it's the only thing that's real, right? So it's not about explosive drama. with Mars square Uranus. This is the moment the pressure valve releases and the truth clears the air. Clears the air. Right? So if your relationship can't survive the truth, then it was already suffocating. It was like on its death now already and ready to die, right? If your relationship can't survive the truth, then it's built on a lie. So know that. So what desire is actually sacred? Because this one, here we go. We're talking about the 3041 channel. Like, what desire is actually sacred? And this is mature union, mature partnership. So this is a desire, because this is mental. This is a desire for mental intimacy. What does that mean? It's where your thoughts can be spoken without censoring. You don't need to filter yourself. That's the kind of relationship that you want. It's not a battleground. Your words aren't a battleground. It's not a competition, right? It's where communication flows, right? With your authentic self, with the authentic self of the other. There's ease around communication. You're not bracing yourself, right? If I don't say it this way, he's going to get triggered, or he's going to dominate me, tell me that I'm wrong, right? And correct me, all of that, right? It puts you on edge. Listen to your body, how you feel in those situations. This is like, no, this is what I want. King of Swords is clarity. It's truth. It's thinking for yourself, not having to agree with somebody else and their opinions and how they look at the world, that you're able to disagree with someone and it not become this huge battle. So Two of Cups is equal, right? There's mutual recognition, there's authentic connection, and there's the sacred longing underneath the 30th gate, right? And this is to be seen. The secret longing of the 30th gate is to be seen, to see the other and met in your truth, right? And met in your truth. So not rescued, not fixed, not adored and put on a pedestal, right? Just met and understood by the other. That's what you're longing for. So this is true. This is sacred. So the 41st gate fantasizes, and then the 38th gate, the 30th gate is the cravings, the desire, and underneath the two of them is a clean, sharp desire for someone who can hold your mind, right? And appreciate your mind, not just your emotions. A partner in thought, that there's this ease of conversation, an equal, right? You want something real and you want to speak it directly. Speak it directly. So it's a quality. This is an adult. This is king. This is an adult relationship. It's clean contracts. And this is why the 3740 is alive and active. So this is saying that my fractal doesn't want tribal obligation and duty and anymore. I don't want to, feed somebody else's ego, or afraid if I say this, they're going to act this way. And, you want conscious pairing now, right? A conscious sleeping phoenix relationship. So what structure must be built for you? The 10 of Cups, right? The real 10 of Cups, not the illusion, the real 10 of Cups. So this is the rainbow after the storm. It's emotional fulfillment, and it's belonging that's genuine. It's authentic. And so this is what must be built, a support system of people who actually see you, like the real you, right? That you can be vulnerable with. Remember what I talked about with authenticity? Authenticity means that you're vulnerable. You're not putting on a mask and pretending you're different. That's not what uniqueness is. It's your uniqueness is vulnerability. So this is belonging that's genuine, right? So this has to be built, right? A support system of people who actually see you, a soul tribe that doesn't require you to be giving, right? That doesn't require you to put on a mask. And so Saturn, Neptune, and Aries is the body, right? The body becoming the authority. So you can't build that alone, right? Because the immune system will dysregulate if it's too much in isolation. So the nervous system needs co-regulation. So really look. But you may say, but Michael, if I don't know, I won't have anybody. Well, then you're a community of one for a while, right? Until your soul tribe arrives. So the structure to build is emotional safety with the right people. And maybe there's one person in your life that you feel that with. Well, be with that one person, right? Not these people that want you to, that can't see you and they expect you to be, they're like celebrating the mask that you're wearing. That feels empty inside. There's nothing worse than that to be appreciated, right? For your not self, because it's not real. Right? So this is, you want to be with the right people, not everyone, the few who passed this test, the 10 of Pentacles test, right? The ones that can hold your 2 cups truth, can hold your 2 cups truth here. So not proving, not hustling, not owing, not right. So 10 of Cups here too means your work that feels aligned, relationships that feel safe, home that feels peaceful, and your nervous system's not in survival. So be in tune with your body. Your body will tell you the truth about who belongs in your life and who doesn't. What's the body saying? Death, the death card. So this is no negotiation. This is like something has to end. Right? This is the most direct answer to the question. What's your body saying? So your body's not asking for compromise and adjustment. It's not asking for better supplements or more yoga. It's asking you to end something, right? So this is something must die so that you can live. The authentic you can live. So it could be a pattern, a relationship, your relationship to authority, the way that you relate to your physical form, right? So the body is holding a funeral for what you've been forcing it to carry, and your body will let you know, right? So this is like let it die, right? And if you go back to my personal story, my appendix story, it's the same thing. Something had to die. That ego that didn't want it, that resisted my soul purpose, didn't want to do it. It's too hard. I want to check out early. That ego had to die so that I could live. My authentic self could live. And my body showed me that, right? So what's your body showing you? Maybe it's not going to be as dramatic as me. What's your body showing you now? What needs to die? You can just close your eyes and ask yourself right now, like what? Ask your soul, your body, what needs to die? What needs to die right now? What do I need to let go of? Right? So the body's not whispering anymore, right? This is like your body's not fighting you. It's waiting for you to stop fighting the ending, right? You're not in battle with your body. Don't be in battle with your body. Your body's waiting for you to end something, right? So this is transformation chosen consciously. And this prevents crises, like bringing a crisis into your life. Just listen to your body. So what timeline closes if you don't act? And then you've got the Strength card and the Queen of Pentacles. So these are 2 feminine authorities. 2 feminine authorities. So the lion is tamed by love. And the queen, she's in her garden. She's abundant. She's sovereign. She's taking care of herself. She's got her own pinnacle. She's got her own money, her own foundation, her material security. So what's at stake if you don't choose? Your soul, right? Your embodiment of your mature feminine power. Do you want to throw this away? right? So strength is the courage to face the lion within. This is the raw, untamed aspects of the self. And into this is the shadow, right? You can look at it as your shadow, your fear, right? Your fear. So this is integrating your fear with compassion, not domination, right? Your fear. And remember, fear is not something to be afraid of. People are afraid of their fear, right? They take action from their fear. That's the ego's. The ego is food, is fear. The ego is right in there with a bunch of ideas about how you can't grow, and you can't do this, and you can't. That's impossible. Blah blah blah. Right? Fear is a frequency. That's all it is. And what do you have to do to integrate? You stop and you feel it. You just feel it. You surrender to it. It's like, I'm just going to feel it. And then you let it move through your body. That's how you deal with fear, because fear is affecting your thoughts, right? And you're going to realize that now in this next 36-year cycle. So you just feel it, and then it goes. Yeah, maybe you have a big boo-hoo, and then it's gone, right? So the Queen of Pentacles is the result. So this is saying to deal with your fear, your anger, your emotional stuff that you haven't integrated. And then you've got the Queen of Pentacles. This is grounded prosperity, physical thriving, right? This isn't living on the streets, right, with a begging bowl, right? This is like, I don't see any begging bowl. I see you're surrounded by a garden and a bunny, right? So this is your physically thriving, right? The capacity to nourish others from overflow rather than depletion, right? Your full cup here. So if you don't act on the death card and let something die, let an old contract die, if you don't speak your 9 of Cups truth, then this timeline ends, and then you just continue this loop, right, of the 6 of Pentacles, over giving because you don't want to be judged by others. Over and over, you get trapped there. And this is the overgiving, buying your belonging, right? Burying your authentic self, wearing a mask, and the body will continue to protest. So if we look at the ego card here, this is the authority figure. The authority figure here looks better like that. So this is conditioning around belonging, around duty, around being good, right? So this is, if I stop overgiving, taking care of everybody, I lose love. I lose a sense of belonging. So that's the cross of planning survival strategy, is I have to submit to authority. Right? I have to submit to some kind of authority to survive, to fit in, be good, get ahead. But underneath this, right? Underneath this, so maybe your husband, your partner is this authority figure. It could be little g too, the government, something that you're giving your authority over to. Could be a sibling, a parent, a boss, whatever, a client even, right? A spiritual teacher. Well, what's really happening underneath this, if you go underneath this to transmute this ego, the ego is trying to block this, right? The ego is trying to block, and the energy is the child's unmet need, which is unconditional love. Unconditional love is the child's currency, right? Unconditional love. So there's what's happened is the substitute authority figure is the parent. So whoever your authority figure is in your life, substitute it for your mother or your father. And that's what you're really playing out. So the child is looking for unconditional love from this parent, but it's projected on this authority figure. It's the child self that wants this unconditional love from the authority figure. So it could be the boss, the partner, the government, the spiritual teacher. What the parent couldn't give, right? So what you do is you submit, you overgive, you be obedient, you be dutiful, all to secure a belonging that was never truly unconditional in the first place, right? So the soul doesn't need to earn belonging. The soul is belonging. So what do you do with this? You give it to yourself. You give that unconditional love to yourself. You stop outsourcing it. And it's like, oh, I've internalized this authority figure within myself. You know, it's projected now onto somebody external to me. It's like I'm going to take that energy and I'm going to give it to myself, right? So the authority figure is the final barrier to the strength in the Queen of Pentacles timeline. Because as long as you're trying to please the parent through the proxy of an external authority, you're still a child. You're still in the child position, right? You're not a spiritual adult, right? So children can't build Saturn, Neptune structures. They can't, right? Adults do. So the death card in this position is really saying, will you let your child transform? Will you give your child what it needs? Can you give your inner child your unconditional love and stop looking for it from another person that's never going to give it to you? That's their contract. Whoever's in your life that you see as an authority figure, their contract is to never, ever, ever give you that unconditional love, because the spiritual lesson is that you give it to yourself, right? So are you going to let this child self die? Let this child transform into an adult so that your spiritual adult can emerge, and then you reclaim your inner authority. You stop outsourcing it. Okay. So this week is about ending the contracts, right, inherited from your ancestors that are around stability and safety and security. You're ending this, right? We're moving out of a first line. We're moving into a sixth line. You're not going to feel the fear next year. It's going to be completely different. You want to stop unequal exchange. You want to choose adult relationships, adult partnership relationships, not child to inner child to inner child, siblings, a sibling type of relationship. No, you want an equal, right? Conscious partner. You want to build a joy-based structures in your life. You want to let an old identity die, and you want to reclaim authority from this internalized parent energy, right? So the cards also say something really important. And what it's saying is speaking your truth does not collapse your life. It stabilizes it. So don't listen to the ego telling you that. Speaking your truth doesn't collapse your life. It stabilizes your life. Okay. And let's go. Okay, the twin flame. And I no longer say that you're on a twin flame path. You know what you're on a path of? Self-sovereignty. That's the purpose of the twin flame connection, is to put you on a path of self-sovereignty, put you on a path of authenticity. Okay, so what is this connection activating? The devil. The devil. Everyone's favorite. The devil. Capricorn. Right here. So this is where you give your power away. The twin is your mirror. Your twin is your mirror. In the mirror, your twin is showing you this about yourself. It has nothing to do with your twin. This is what the ego does. We'll project devil onto your twin. It has nothing to do with your twin. Your twin is the mirror, right? Your twin is showing you this about yourself. It's showing you, your twin is showing you where you give your power away. the chains, who you're chained to, right? So it's not the other person, it's not the bonds, it's this, the chains. So this connection is activating every place that you've agreed to your own imprisonment, right? So the devil is your shadow self. The part of you that believes freedom is dangerous. It's dangerous to be free. That love must be earned through suffering, right? This is what the devil teaches you. That you need permission to exist. You have to earn your way to, you're a burden. You've got to earn your way just to exist. So the mirror is showing you your own addiction to this cage. You're addicted to this cage because you're terrified of what's outside the cage, which is freedom. You wouldn't think that, eh? Like, what? What are you talking about? I want to be free. I want to be free. But that's the ego's version of freedom. The ego's version of freedom is I get whatever I want. I win the lottery. I don't have to work. I just live this life of luxury. I do whatever I want. Is that freedom? No. Freedom is being free from the ego and the shadow. That's true freedom. So it's showing you where you're addicted to the cage. You're addicted to your own victimhood, right? And this is 15. X5, right? That's 6. And what's the 6 in tarot? That's the lovers. This is the lovers card reversed, right? This is like choice, right? The lovers is choice, is a conscious choice. This is compulsion, right? So this is like the connection triggers the wound of something, wanting something like, oh, these desires coming up in me. I want this. I want this. But you're convinced yourself that it's wrong. It's forbidden. I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't feel this desire, right? And then resenting the wanting and the desiring here. So the purpose of the mirror is to show you that you are both the prisoner. You're both the prisoner and the key. You. So this is not about the other person, right? So look at your mind and your ego. This is not about them. They're mirroring something about me. So your twin is showing you where you're still not free and you're resisting looking into the mirror. You're actually like fighting the mirror. No. Right. Who gets hurt when they fight the mirror? You do. You got the bloody hands, right? The mirror is just a reflection. That twin is just reflecting back something to you that you don't want to look at. And your twin is like the most powerful mirror that you'll ever meet in your lifetime is your twin, right? It's going to show you what you don't want to see, right? The shadowy area, so you can integrate. You're integrating this devil energy, right? Where you're chained. What are you chained to? Okay, what must you reclaim? King of Wands, your will. You must reclaim your will, your direction, your fire, your sexuality, your leadership. And the King of Wands doesn't wait around, right? He doesn't orbit. He doesn't chase validation from others. He initiates. This is Aries energy, right? Aries energy. This is Saturn, Neptune, and Aries energy. This is self-authority energy. So King of Wands says is to reclaim your timeline. Reclaim your dream. Stop trying to help achieve someone else's dream, right? This is like reclaim your dream and what you want. Reclaim your mission, your soul purpose, your erotic energy, your creativity, your creative output. And stop waiting for a relationship to give you permission or validation, right? So you have the right to want something and go toward it without needing the other person's participation or validation. So the King of Wands is saying to stop waiting for that mirror to move, right? You're the fire. You're the fire. So to be the source of your own motion and movement, the King of Wands, very confident, right? This is your inner authority and your fire here. And this burns this away, right? Takes off the chains. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. You have choice. So what happens if you choose yourself? Now that's the whole goal of the path of self-sovereignty, the twin flame. It's not about choosing the twin. It's about choosing yourself, right? Choosing yourself. What happens if you choose yourself? You've got the Queen of Cups, you've got the Six of Pentacles, you have the Fool. So this is emotional maturity, the Queen of Cups, intuitive, equal exchange, Six of Pentacles, and the Fool, which is a new beginning. So this is you become emotionally sovereign. You're not taking on the emotions of other people. Right? You have your own emotions, your own intuition, your own feelings. And then from this place, the scales, right? They balance. The overgiving ends. You receive as much as you give, or you just stop giving to the people that are not reciprocating. There's a clean exchange, and the relationship becomes mutual or becomes irrelevant, right? So the Fool says a completely new relationship paradigm begins here. So there's a new timeline, there's a 0 point, and the leap into the unknown territory without the old story dragging behind you, right? He's got his little knapsack or whatever on his wand there. There's no room for old stories here. Maybe a power bar and an energy drink in there, but that's it, right? No room for the emotional baggage here that you're bringing into the new. You've dropped, right? You've dropped the emotional, your emotional patterns, your codependency, all of that. You're leaping into something new. So this pattern shifts when you choose yourself, right? So you're either with them or you're not. It doesn't matter, right? You're choosing yourself here. So the trajectory is the bond either transforms into something that you can't imagine. The twin flame bond evolves into something that you can't even imagine because it's new, the Fool, or it dissolves with grace, right? With the Queen of Cups holding the grief, right? Either way, you're no longer chained to the outcome. You're no longer chained to this, right? So the Fool says there's a life waiting that has nothing to do with whether that person returns or not. And this is the life that you want, right? And then if we look at the ego card, procrastinate. So the ego says, don't decide yet. Wait for clarity. Wait for a sign. Wait for when the time is right. Wait for them. And you'll be safe, right? If you put off making a decision, that's what the ego promises. So the illusion is that the delay is protection, that staying in between is a form of wisdom, that more time will give clarity. I just need more time. It won't, right? The devil loves this, loves the procrastination, right? It's favorite tool. Mañana, right? Do it tomorrow. So this is the chain that you're wearing around your neck is procrastination. So the cage you lock from inside, because as long as you haven't chosen yourself fully, the devil stays active, right? So there's an Aquarian Sutra from Kundalini Yoga meditation. When the pressure of time is on you, start and the pressure will be off you. So being self-sovereign means you have to make a decision, right? You've got to bust a move. Maybe you got to bust a baby move, like a little baby move, a little baby step. So this is the ego is using your twin flame connection or it could be your karmic too, right? As an excuse to avoid choosing yourself. Because choosing yourself means this, and you know this, right? It means the unknown. It means the death of the story that you've been telling about why you can't have what you want, right? So the hook here is not love. The hook is the fear of the leap, fear of the leap. And the leap is already written in the cards. And this procrastination, waiting for things to get better at the right time or things to change without you doing anything, right? This is keeping you from the leap here, right? So the only thing that's keeping the leap alive, or the old loop alive, is delay. And you don't need more insight. You need a clean choice. You need to make a decision, right? So here's a question for you. If you stop procrastinating tomorrow, what would you actually do? If you stop procrastinating tomorrow, what would you actually do? Maybe stop procrastinating today in this moment. What would you actually do? Right? So there we go. Path of self-sovereignty, twin flames. Okay. So that's what I have there. And just a reminder, the online retreat, March 20th to the 22nd, a deep dive into one aspect of your chart, your unique chart. And this is about awakening your inner authority, igniting the inner masculine within you. And it has nothing to do with form, right? It's alchemy. We need the inner masculine and the inner feminine in balance. And so check that out. That's in the link in the information box. And you can follow me on Instagram, Telegram, and YouTube. My YouTube tab for posts, if you go there. And this is where I post daily on the daily transits. Okay, so the plan is to get another video before the full moon on March 3rd, I believe it is. So I will see you sooner than later. Okay, so write down your comments. I love reading your comments about how you're doing. And if you resonate with these messages, especially the card messages or whatever else you want to share. And have a great week. Okay. Sat Nam Aloha, everyone. Bye-bye.